What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. As always, it's your boy Big Sour, and this is an extra video for the week. You're probably asking why. Well, because the first thing I saw on Twitter today was a freaking disappointment. Now, I'm not really shocked by the Twitter crowd's capacity for disgusting and inhuman behavior, but this clip in particular really caught me off guard just because it was the very first thing I saw when waking up. Let that be advice to you. Probably don't log on Twitter first thing in the morning. To provide some context, we have a supposed right-wing comedian, Chrissy Mayer. Going through her stuff, she really strikes me a lot as a Lawrence Southern type. Going back a couple years, I was a little bit more in the right-wing, real-life activist crowd, I guess. There were a lot of women in the movement that parroted things that were pretty popular, just the popular thoughts of the time so they could get a quick buck, get their podcast going, get their lowbrow comedy career in order. And this really strikes me of much of the same. So Chrissy Mayer has found this clip. And in this clip, we have two drug addicts, probably on heroin, lolling out on their car at a gas station. Now, the video itself is actually incredibly sad on both sides. We're going to discuss it a little more and we're going to go through it together. But I'd like to point out that Chrissy Mayer herself is very sad. She's probably the saddest of them all for turning this whole thing into a joke just to get herself a little bit of clout. That's what this whole video is. It's just clout chasing. It really illustrates how disgusting the internet is as a whole, where people's sympathy and morals have completely slid to the wayside as long as it means they can get a few followers. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to watch this whole clip because it's very long, kind of sad, but also because someone decided to put David Bowie's music over it. Keep in mind while you're watching this that these people are lolling off, probably on drugs, on top of their car, while everyone is making a spectacle talking about how they're going to get famous on social media. Not a single person thought to call the police or to take the keys from them. But what they did remember to do was put a silly track over it. Because of course you want to get those likes on Twitter, don't you? Let's watch.
The zombies. Mr. Lee, what's wrong with them?
Now we can see that this is being filmed by the friends of this homeless guy. I don't think it's the homeless guy filming it, but presumably they know him well enough to know his name, probably live in the neighborhood, probably sell drugs. They probably sell the drugs that these two people are on. So not only is it pathetic on the front of the camera, it's pretty goddamn pathetic on the back end of the camera as well. But above that all, we have supposed political activists, social commentators, comedians, styles comedians, people who fancy themselves comedians rather, using the spectacle as an easy source of clout. Because to them, that's what human suffering is really worth. It's not really worth much to them, it's just worth a little bit of clout. I appreciate that the man filming has the wherewithal to call out that he's going viral. You know, we wouldn't know that he's making a shitty Twitter video if he wasn't like a parakeet shouting about how he's going to go viral in the video itself. Let me point out that I have absolutely no clue who filmed this. I don't think anyone has any clue who filmed this. The person who whipped out their camera whipped it out with the intention of getting their 5 minutes of fame. For all it's worth, because the day this was posted, I'm completely unaware of who filmed it. And I'm sure 99.9% of people are as well. So, you know, you really went viral there. I think this society has created something really sick. It's created this rampant desire for fame, yet no one wants to do the hard work that it takes to even achieve a modicum of it. They think they just film a couple drug addicts at a gas station and there's their viral fame. There's their clout. There's their Twitter page. There's their sponsorships on their Instagrams. And it really just leads us to dehumanizing each other. It leads us to not take each other seriously. It leads us to make a spectacle out of something that is absolutely gross. Something that's disgusting and not funny. I don't find this funny. Because to my mind, what I see is two drug addicts fueling up their car, and then later they get in their car and they drive off. And maybe they hurt someone. Maybe they kill someone. That's not in this clip. And no one cares. Not the person who retweeted it, not the person who filmed it, and certainly not the people laughing at it. You can't tell me that they couldn't have stopped these people with how close they got. They couldn't have taken away their keys. They couldn't have called the police. They couldn't have pushed them to the ground and subdued them themselves. But no, that was not the concern here. The concern was never with the safety of people. It was never with helping people. It was never with making sure that their neighborhood was safe. It was never with making sure that no one got hurt that night. It was purely about internet fame. Internet fame is a disgusting beast. It is a very disgusting, grotesque, hungry beast. And the simple fact of the matter is, most people don't deserve it. They don't have the skill. They don't have the talent. So what do they default to? They default to just filming horrible shit. I've probably hit this home already a couple times, but I just find it sad all around. Sad in the front of the camera, pathetic in the back of the camera, and just gross on the twit itself. Like, who are you to make a joke about this, tweeting about this? Tells me that you're a pretty amoral, self-centered person. What a national treasure this guy is. Natural comedian. This girl falls onto her ass and his first thought, a brilliant joke. She about to doo-doo? Thank you for that glorious contribution to human culture, my friend. Thank God we have philosophers and forward thinkers such as the man behind this camera to make incredible jokes like, she about to doo-doo. This woman is literally drifting off into La La Land, and these guys are just making a joke about it. She could probably be ODing right here on the back of the car from a look of her face. Either it feels really good or she's freaking dying. But that doesn't really matter to the people on camera. You know, we used to think it was silly when we watch movies, voyeuristic movies, such as Quarantine or what's that other one, Paranormal Activity. We used to think it was illogical that the person behind the camera wouldn't have emotion, would have very little agency, and would just film the spectacle without any protest. But here we are in the social media age, man. It doesn't matter what kind of horrible shit goes down in front of you. People dying, getting their heads chopped off, war, drug overdose, car crashes. People just film so that they can hopefully get 10, 20 likes on their Twitter. Well, I don't really see much necessity in finishing the rest of this video. It goes on for 2 entire minutes, and it's just pathetic. I don't know who this Chrissy Mayer person is, but I don't really like her. This is the kind of tweet you make when you're just trying to get fame. When you don't really give a crap about the stuff you're talking about or the people involved, you just want to sound smart. Be the loudest voice in the room. Have your little podcast with your Patreon. That's what this kind of post is about. It's appealing to a really terrible part of human nature. And that's our attraction to spectacle. That's our desire to look at someone lesser than them and then look at ourselves and all our pathetic failings and go, at least I'm not as pathetic as that guy. But you're still pretty pathetic, Chrissy Mayer. You're still pretty fucking pathetic, people on the other end of this camera. You're probably more pathetic than the people that are passing out on their car, wasted off their ass. You're the most pathetic one of all, the person behind the camera. But beyond that, the reason it really stopped me is that Chrissy Mayer is followed by a couple people that I actually enjoy. And I think maybe we've taken this propensity for sardonic humor a little far. Maybe when we're making uncouth jokes, cynical jokes about something like Cruella, the movie, or the latest Disney piece of trash, and you're the critical drinker, maybe that's funny. But when you're making jokes at the expense of actual living human beings, the wastes of society, you know, the people I used to live with for 5 years of my fucking life, let me educate you people watching how my life used to be. I used to live in LA. Every day, I took a daily commute down Venice Boulevard under the Fairfax Underpass. It's terrible. It's a literal tent city down there. And it didn't make me laugh. One time I cruised by there, there's literally a homeless tent fire. Just homeless tents ablaze. In broad daylight, people walking about doing their own business. It's a freaking war zone. It's disgusting. It symbolizes a failure of our societal structure, of our political structure, and of ourselves as human beings. And I don't find it funny. I find it angering. It angers me when people laugh about shit like this. I know I make a lot of jokes, a lot of uncouth jokes. You go ahead and check the record. See if I've made a joke about something like this. And if you're the guy who made this video and you happen upon my reaction to it, I want you to know you're pathetic. I want you to know you're a bigger waste of space than the people on the other end of your video camera. I want you to sit in that. And I want you to realize that your internet fame never came. You made that video shitting all over yourself, squealing like a child, and how many follows did it get you? How many likes did it get you? I don't think it got you a single one. Chew on that for a bit, my guy. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace.